different. Today is a cooking video. Today I will be making tacos. Alright, one of the first things that you're gonna want to do after you grab like everything that you need, first thing you're gonna want to do is wash your hands. Especially if you just use the bathroom, and if you don't wash your hands, that's disgusting. Gotta make sure you scrub those hands. See? Just like that. Okay, so now, after your hands are now washed and you have everything you need, now you can start dealing with the actual food. So, today I got 85% lean beef right here. There's like 1.5 pounds of meat here, so that'll be like, I don't know, like 2 different servings. I normally eat like 5 tacos per, like, every time I make them, I always eat like 5, so that'll be like 2 different things for me. So basically, it's pretty simple. With the meat, all you gotta do is got some like cooking scissors or something sharp. I used to use for cooking, so like you don't gotta like, hold on. Yeah, I always use cooking scissors because like these are just like food that you use, like scissors that you use with food and all that. So basically, what you do is obviously try not to get meat on it, but it's okay if you do, because you can just wash it after. And what you do is that you just open it. It's pretty simple. You just open it, and then drop it right into the pan. And obviously, you want to make sure you have a nice, clean cooking area, because you don't want anything in your way. You want to have it nice and neat, so all you can just focus on is cleaning. Don't have that much of a mess to clean up after. Alright, now that we got the meat in the pan, now we can actually start the cooking process. So what I like to do, because it just cooks faster, but I always make sure to like monitor the heat, I like to put it right on high. And to make it so it actually cooks pretty quickly, you want to make sure that the meat is right in the center of the pan, because that's where like the most heat is, and so it'll cook even faster. Alright, so now that the meat is heating up, basically I just had to sit here and cook it, and so I am using Old El Paso taco seasoning, and this seasoning it's pretty good. I recommend it if you want to have some good tacos. Basically, what you gotta do is you gotta wait for it to be all brown, because you don't want any raw meat, because that'll make you sick. And basically, once it gets all red, you gotta add this seasoning into the mix. And then it recommends like 2/3 of water, but what I've realized is that too much water makes it like soupy, so then you just get a mess all over your plate. So I like to add a little bit less than I normally do. And yeah, that basically makes a good taco. As it starts to heat up, you can hear that sizzle. That means that it's starting to cook. Basically, what you want to do is obviously you just gonna want to, because you gotta make sure that you're moving around a lot. You gotta like cut it up into pieces, and then you gotta make sure it gets brown all over. Alright, obviously, there's nothing else for you to do for right now. After you get all the meat brown, that's all there is. Just like, you just want to get it brown, add the seasoning, and then add the water, make sure it gets all around. And then after that, it's pretty much just done. Because after you want to like get it all mixed around and whatnot, after you do that, after it gets all mixed, like the seasoning and everything, the water gets all mixed around, basically you just let it sit there, so like the meat like absorbs the flavor of the seasoning. And when it does that, I set like a timer like on the microwave like 5 minutes or so. That normally gets it pretty well. I'm gonna have it on like a low heat, and then pretty much when you do that, it's pretty much all set. Alright, the little progress that we have going on right now, looking pretty brown. Basically, I just wanted to get like all these little red parts, because that's like all the raw meat. Right, basically looking like all the brown parts right here. It's done pretty well so far. I'll check in back again when there's a little bit more progress. Alright, check back in a couple minutes later. It's pretty good. There's still a few little red parts that need to be cooked and whatnot. But I think in like, I don't know, like maybe 3 to 4 minutes, it should be all done. And I should be able to add the seasoning. Alright, meat's all cooked now. Now it's time to add the taco seasoning to the mixture. To the meat to give it some more flavor. And then add the water, let the water mix it so it's all like absorbed by the meat. Alright, so now I'm just about to add the seasoning. Want to make sure that the heat is pretty low because you don't want it to like overcook. So now it's time to add the seasoning. You want to get it like kind of like all over so the seasoning go. Get right in there. Alright, so now that the seasoning has been added and the water as well, you just want to like stir it around so like all the meat gets the seasoning on it. And once you do that, you can set like a timer for 5 minutes, let it sit for a little bit on the low heat. And then after those 5 minutes are up, your meat should be all set. Alright, so now, while the meat is cooking, I'll like check on it occasionally to make sure everything's going alright. Like every maybe a minute and a half or so, I'll like check on it. But now, what I'm gonna do is while that's sitting there for the 5 minutes, I'm going to get everything that I will be using to basically form my tacos, get all my tortillas set up, and basically get everything I'm gonna use set up. So right as soon as the meat's done, I can throw the tortillas in the microwave to heat those up, and then I'm ready to start plating.
I know the traditional way to heat tortillas is probably not by throwing them in a microwave, but you know, it works out pretty well for me. I normally don't use this type of brand. I use like the Old El Paso taco kit, which is basically the same thing. I got 4 sheets of paper towels, and I basically just roll them up into like a little square here. And then, depending on how hungry I am, there's a amount of tortillas I put down. I'm pretty hungry, so I'm going to do my traditional 5 tortillas on here. These are pretty smaller for what I normally eat, which is fine. Probably means I end up just using less meat. I'll probably just use a little bit less than what I normally do. Yeah.
Now that we have the tortillas set up, we can get the plates, and then now we just wait for the meat to be done. Alright, we got like a little bit less than a minute until for all the meat to be all set. I got everything prepped, I got the tortillas ready, I got my cheese, I got my 2 things of salsa, I got my lettuce as well. And I don't like sour cream, so I don't put that on there. But as I've always said, you want to make sure you have a clean cooking environment so you can make sure that everything is all nice and easy as soon as you so you have nice and easy cleanup. Okay, tortillas are all set, meat's done. Now the next step in all this is just to make the tacos the way that you like them. Because the way I like them is just a lot of meat on them, a little bit of cheese, some lettuce, and 2 different types of salsa. Because I like mine very, very hot. Alright, and they're done. In my opinion, I gotta be a little bit honest. These definitely could look a little bit better from what they actually do look like, but I mean, to me, presentation isn't really that important to me. It's mainly just how they taste. And with that, it's time for the taste test. Alright, time for the taste test. These did come out pretty good. Now it's just time to eat. Did forget a napkin though. That sucks. Not bad. A little bit messier than what I normally have, but taste-wise, eight out of 10 on the taste. It's the right amount of spice that I like. But I just wish the meat was a little bit more flavorful from what I normally have. Now, I just finished eating. Now, time for the fun part about all of this. It's time to clean everything up. I just finished up washing the dishes. These are all clean. Cleaned out the sink because there is some leftover meat chunks in there from I didn't clean up the pan properly. And that's dried off all this around the sink. All that's left to do now is just wipe down the counter and wipe down the stove. And also to wipe down whatever I rested my spatula on, because there's stuff all over it right now. So I just gotta clean all that up, and after that, we're all done. Alright, so cleaning's done. Everything is all cleaned up. Stove was clean. Countertops that the food were on was clean. All the dishes I used were clean. Sink's clean. Everything here is clean. Trash doesn't have to be taken out yet, so we don't need to worry about that. But besides that, yeah, we're all done. So if you guys want any more cooking videos or just how I just cook stuff anyway, if you guys want any videos like that, leave a comment down below if you want any more cooking videos. And with that, yeah, this video is over. It's where my demons hide. It's where my demons. Wait, no, I've got one more important thing. After cleaning with chemicals, you're gonna want to wash your hands one more time. Gotta make sure you just got those hands. That was not worth it at all. My arms are now completely soaked. My shirt's soaked. I'm gonna have to get a new one. That was all the dishes are soaked. The countertop over there is soaked. The floors now has water on it. That was so not worth it.